All right. Welcome to DCT.
Episode 49. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
You know, things come and go, right? You have loved ones. You have pets.
Man, this is a brutal start.
And you also have freezing temperatures,
God.
which hopefully are on the go part of this come and go right now.
I need them to be. I can't handle this shit anymore.
Yeah, it's already enough driving to work and trying to heat my car up in the morning when I'm going in at like 4:30 in the morning.
Well, for you probably get there and it's warm, and then you have to get out.
Yeah,
as soon as
I
it
have to get
warms
out
up.
immediately. I get 5 minutes maybe of like warmth of like, and it's like, oh, gotta go back outside again. So, yeah, but you know what does come with the cold weather? Especially this year, the Winter Olympics.
Ooh.
The Winter Olympics have started since we have last recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And, U.S. in second place right now. Got 2 golds. We were talking about it before the episode. Ben was mentioning how all the other countries that are, like, tied or ahead of us right now have, like, the same amount or more gold medals. But they also have a bunch of bronze and silvers.
Three bronze, 2 silvers, 1 silver, 1 bronze.
As, the United States, we demand perfection. And so, as of right now, we have 2 golds and nothing else.
Yeah.
We're either perfect or we're not. We don't care. So, rah, do whatever you want. I'm not going to do the scream that I did before
Please, God,
the
no.
broadcast. I'm afraid for our mic's
Guy
sanity.
broke the mic doing that.
But, yeah, so in terms of the Olympics, we also have hockey coming up, too.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about, our couple of Canadian Caps teammates that Canada gets to just rip away from us
Those
as
fucking
soon as hockey
traitors.
starts. Jacob Chikrin and Logan Thompson are Canadian. Not much else to say about that.
I was so upset when I found out Logan Thompson was Canadian. I was like, that's my favorite keeper in the league. And then I was like, oh,
But,
he's Canadian?
We have our own talents here in the U.S., but, I will wish our boys luck as they go and hopefully do well for the Canadians. I know my boss is probably happy about that, but, he's like Northern Canadian, so it's like,
Does it even count?
does it even count? Just go build a snowman or something. Another big event that happened this weekend, the Super Bowl. That little game at the end of the year where the 2 best teams go and play each other for a chance at, fame and glory and riches beyond their wildest dreams. But then we got Drake Maye forgetting how to play football. And it pretty much was just like what everybody knew was going to happen.
Drake the schedule, man.
Drake the 6-sack May. So Seattle won the Super Bowl 60, 29-13 against the New England Patriots. It was pretty much just the K9 and Jason Myers show. Pretty much the entire night.
Yeah.
Or at least for the first half it was Myers. The second half it was Gainwell. Wow.
Gainwell.
Just shoot me in the mouth. It's because Seth said that yesterday when we were sitting on the couch.
Gainwell?
Well, it's because he said it because he's like a Steelers fan and he's like, where's Kenneth Gainwell? After I was talking about Kenneth Walker. Apologies, K9.
Don't disparage K9 by bringing
Super
him
Bowl
into...
MVP, Kenneth Walker. I can't believe I just, you know what? Just any punishment will do.
I'll figure something out.
Send help. So, yeah, they had a great game. I think K9 had almost 150 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
And then Myers scored more points than the entire Patriots team. So, great game for Seattle. Really bad game for the Patriots.
Really bad game.
Or just a bad game for, like, offensive lovers in general. Like, if Mac Hollins is, like, the leading receiver on both teams that game.
Yeah.
Did
you see his outfit walking into the game?
I mean, was he barefoot?
He was wearing, like, a jumpsuit. He was barefoot.
He was barefoot? Okay.
He was wearing, like, an orange or, like, a red jumpsuit with, shackles on his feet. And it was, like, walking in, not talking to anybody. And I was like...
It's creative expression.
Hey, you do you, man.
You know something we don't.
Yeah.
But, Ben, so now that this game has been decided for us,
yes.
We are now officially in the off-season. And with that comes our final breakdown of a game for the 25-26 season, which is the Seattle and Patriots breakdown at the end of the year, which is going to be, for me, I'm just going to talk about a few things that the Patriots can do in the offseason to avoid this catastrophe from happening again.
Yeah.
And Ben will spew a little bit about our reigning champion Seahawks and what they can do to maintain this. So, Ben.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion Seahawks. How can they keep it from being another disaster class for a team trying to go back to the Super Bowl in their next season?
Well, what they need to do is just make sure they don't pull a Philadelphia Eagles offseason. I mean, last season we saw Philadelphia looked unstoppable in that Super Bowl. They kicked the shit out of the Kansas City Chiefs, and then we went into the offseason and they let go of Hassan Reddick. They let go of Milton Williams. They let go of Josh Sweat. They let go of all these guys, and you thought to yourself, okay, I get that the team is deep, but it's not that deep. I mean, you can't just let go of 30% of your roster and be like, yeah, we can probably do the same thing we did last year. Their O-line suffered immensely. I didn't realize Mekhi Becton was going to be that much of a difference for that team to just go to the Chargers and be absolutely ass at football. But
not just ass. Like the worst option in the league.
I think he was bottom 5 according to PFF at his position. It was bad.
It was bad.
But they need to retain their guys. I mean, you got JSN and Devon Witherspoon, both elite players at their position, if not the best. They both have the possibility of getting $30 million extensions per year in the offseason. And then you got a lot of unrestricted free agents, which could be an issue. Rashid Shaheed, excellent return man, excellent wide receiver. He's now an unrestricted free agent. Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP, now a free agent. Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen, both excellent members in their secondary, are both now unrestricted free agents. So you've got that theme of a lot of guys in your offseason need to get paid, and let's see if they'll actually do it. I know Seattle, their ownership is actually looking to sell the team now. So you got to think to yourself, okay, this owner is now going to buy in. He's going to chip in, he or she is going to chip in $7, maybe $8 billion to buy the team. And the first thing the coach is going to say is, hey, we need to shell out hundreds of millions of dollars more to keep this team intact. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but that's, in my opinion, what they need to do. So, what do you think? What do the Patriots need to do to see if they can get back to this point and improve on it?
So, it's going to take a lot for the Patriots to get back to this point. Obviously, you know, the whole theme with Drake, the schedule, Maye, getting through that whole season. I mean, Vrabel had a great year, right? Like, I mean, it's really, like, just a happenstance of just, like, going down the road, right? You have a 4-13 season. You're bound to get a really, like, dog shit schedule.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, we're starting to win a lot of games. We're going to make a playoff run here. Let's see. And then they just end up stumbling through the 3 AFC teams that, like, were in their way to the Super Bowl. And then to just get their backs blown out by the Seahawks, like, I mean, it's just, there's a couple things to take note of here. My first note is that Drake could not live up to the moment.
No.
Now, he's young. He doesn't have a whole lot of NFL experience, at least in a winning environment. This is his first winning season.
Yeah.
He has played all right this year. It's nothing too stand out. I mean, he did his job to win 14 games.
I mean, he came in second in MVP voting.
Yeah, so that, like, you know, he did his job, and his team got there. But now, being the top of the division, you're going to have to worry about your schedule for next year, which is, I mean, I believe in the regular season they only, like, beat one team that was over 500.
Buffalo.
Yeah, so, like, now you're going to be playing a majority of your schedule of teams that are going to be over 500 or going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just based on your seasonal ranking alone. So he's going to have a lot of practice next year. And it is definitely going to be, as for Patriots fans, I would not try to expect that you'll make a playoff run again in the next season, but I would definitely say keep Maye healthy, have him play all those games. That's definitely going to be running your gauntlet for this year.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy and play in all those games, he's going to develop into a really nice quarterback.
Yeah.
But it was just a little too early for him, I think.
I mean, if you think about it, in my eyes at least, I don't know if you'll agree with me, the Patriots this year were literally just us last year, except the Patriots didn't have to run into a Philadelphia Eagles team.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue, and I don't know if everybody's going to agree with it, I would argue that the Washington Commanders playoff schedule last year was tougher than New England's this year.
Oh, yeah.
Excluding Seattle, obviously. I think that was the best team that...
Sure. I mean, people were definitely making the schedule argument for the Commanders last year, but then once it came to the playoffs, like, all the excuses went out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we, like, fought tooth and nail for those, going from a doinked-in kick field goal to beating the Lions at home.
Putting 45 up on the number 1 seed in Detroit.
Yeah, so as soon as the playoffs started, the schedule whispers kind of vanished.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, and now you had to go up against a Titan Eagles team,
Yeah.
like the Philadelphia Saquon Barkleys. But for the Patriots next year, Drake's definitely going to be good. He's going to pass a lot in those games. He'll probably average like 280 passing yards next year.
Yeah.
As long as they can surround him with some talent, which is another one of my points. Because you have a lot of these like one-hit wonders that have been on the team for 1-2 years. You got a lot of guys that have been sitting on the bench for a while. So you got Diggs, right, who, I don't know, was it a 3-year deal when he came over? I think it was 3 years.
Yeah,
and
I
so
think you're right.
they're going to have to look for help for him, obviously. You got guys, Mac Hollins, Pop Douglas, you guys that are there.
Keyshawn Booty.
Yeah, guys that are there, right? Like, it'll be hard to try to change this offense from, like, Robert Kraft looking at the same offense for 25 years and winning all these Super Bowls and, like, expecting him to do something.
Yeah.
They will definitely build on that a lot next year when it comes to the free agency market. I don't know exactly what their budget looks like, but I know that they're going to have to pay a lot of people on their defense.
Yeah.
So,
well, actually, a lot of people on their defense got contracts this past offseason.
Oh, so they might actually be cleared.
I think the only one that they have to pay coming up, if they haven't paid him already, is Gonzo.
And, I mean, that's, like, the guy you keep.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, like, the only part of your defense that was actually decent last night. So, yeah, one more point, and then I'll move on from this. I wanted to talk about who this loss is on, right? You have a lot of inexperience with playoff performers on this Patriots team for this Super Bowl game. There's a lot that went wrong. Obviously, you can't have your quarterback get sacked 6 times in the Super Bowl. Like, that's abysmal. You also can't have Bad Bunny having more rushing yards than your entire team in that game. That is just not what you can have. And, like, the fact that 2 running backs were getting outproduced by 1 running back who has had to split shares the entire year with Charbonnet. And then for him to just go out for the last 5 weeks and put up over 120 yards every game. Like, I mean, he did his job, and the Patriots could not do theirs.
No.
So, wherever you want to place this blame, Patriots fans or otherwise, I would say keep your heads up. You have a great young team. Get some pieces in the draft that you'll like. And I would say your rebuild will probably be good in another 2 years maybe. But don't give up on your quarterback that doesn't do well next year if it happens. Because we know what that's like. So
Let's see how Drake the schedule May plays next year.
Against Drake the Gauntlet May next year.
I want to give a quick shout out.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl. I know that he did not play exceedingly well because the Patriots defense was still pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
This man.
This guy.
And I know before I started my little rant here, you weren't the biggest Sam Darnold fan. I was not the biggest Sam Darnold fan. I remember doing our preview before the season began of us talking about who we thought we were going to beat and who we weren't. And we thought we were going to beat Seattle because we weren't sure how well Sam Darnold was going to be playing. He proceeded to torch us for like 4 touchdowns and 320 yards or something like that.
Something like that.
Going perfect in the first half. But I think we should give a little shout out to Sam in terms of his NFL journey.
Mm-hmm.
He started off getting drafted to the New York Jets at 3. Anybody that knows the NFL knows getting drafted by the New York Jets is just a death sentence.
It's a curse.
Since really forever.
Yeah, really forever.
But while he was there, he played 38 games over the course of 3 seasons, and he threw for 8,000 yards, had 45 touchdowns, and he had 39 interceptions. So just
solid.
And he went 13-25. So just not great stats, obviously. The Jets say, okay, let's go in a different direction. We're going to draft Zach Wilson, and we're going to send Sam out to Carolina. Somehow they got a second-round pick for him, which is kind of crazy. But in 2021, he played in Carolina. He played 12 games, kind of suffered through some injury issues there. But over those 12 games, he threw 9 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Still just
not great.
Career trajectory still going down. Baker comes in 22 after his injuries and wins the starting job away from him. And then Baker gets cut in December because the Carolina Panthers are so inept they can't keep anything good. But in his first 5 seasons, at the end of the Carolina second year, combined with the New York Jets, he threw 55 picks and had 35 fumbles in 46 games. So at this point, everyone says, okay, this guy's a bust. I mean, 5 years in, and he looks even worse than he did originally when he started out.
Yeah.
He goes to back up Brock Purdy in San Francisco. They make it to the Super Bowl. He's sitting on the bench the entire time. He only played in 2 games that season. One of them was a meaningless Week 18 game that they had already locked up the 1 seed in. After that, Minnesota brings him in, says, okay, we're going to give you $10 million for a 1-year deal. You're going to be our backup because we have J.J. McCarthy coming in. And
9?
Preseason.
You mean 9?
Shut up. Preseason week 2, he tears his ACL, I think it was. And they say, all right, I guess we're rolling with Sam. He proceeds to throw 35 touchdowns, has 12 interceptions. Looks fantastic. And Minnesota says, no thanks. I don't think we want to give you the money you're looking for in the offseason. And they stick with JJ. Obviously a mistake.
It was obviously the right choice.
Anyway, so he then goes, Seattle picks him up. It was a 3-year, $100 million deal. And the rest is history. I mean, the guy threw 25 touchdowns, did have 14 picks this year, but, you know, NFC Championship, everyone says, all right, this is where we finally see the crumble happen. In the playoffs, bye week happened. 49ers game happened. Defensive special team did everything in that game. So he really didn't even have to perform super well. And then Rams game happens, and he throws 3 touchdowns, no picks, and 300 yards.
It's like the best game of his life.
Yeah. So, I mean, now he's a Super Bowl champion, which is wild in my head to think about. But I felt like we needed to say congrats to him. As a podcast that has simultaneously not been the biggest fan of the guy, he does deserve his flowers at the end of the day.
We do have to acknowledge greatness when it does happen, and he had a great season, and he's played a really good last 2 games of the season.
Yeah.
I have been waiting for this Sam Darnold game to happen where he threw 4 interceptions because he did that twice this year in the regular season and had 2 games with 3 picks. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe, you know, he'll just do one of those in the playoffs, but no. The Jets curse has been broken, it seems like, with Jets players.
Former Jets players.
Former Jets players
will always be cursed in my eyes. Speaking of greatness.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit of Washington Wizards basketball.
Oh, that's the only language we speak over here is greatness.
We went to the game last Tuesday, guy. It was fucking terrible.
It was a game.
The Wizards got blown out. It was bad. I mean, from the jump, Keenan and I had got in about, I think it was 15 minutes before the game started, and, you know, sat down, glizzy in one hand, tall boy in the other, sitting there watching a basketball game. Can't ask for much more in life.
Life is good.
And, you know, they got out to, I think it was like a 13-2 start, and we just both were like, okay, cool. It's going to be one of those games. Mikal Bridges shot a 3 at one point. When he landed, kicked himself back out, and they called it a foul on whoever was guarding him. Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. So we're just being reffed out in this game that is in our building.
Yeah.
But little did we know that was going to be the last time that we saw A.J. Johnson play in a Wizards jersey.
Yeah. We were none the wiser going to this game on A.J. Johnson hat night. Shout out to the hat, by the way.
Shout out to the hat. Little signature in there. Last signature by
Got
AJ.
A DMV logo Got some stars on the sides. Got the logo on the back and a little AJ signature right here on the brim. Wednesday morning, he got traded in a 7-player, 2-pick trade. Or 5-pick trade.
I think it was more than 7 players. I think it was 8.
I have 7. So maybe there's one floating around in there. I don't think D'Lo counts.
Oh, true. Yeah, if we don't count D'Lo, then probably 7. But
yeah.
Go ahead. What were the details of the trade?
So, blockbuster trade by any means in Washington. In my lifetime, I've never seen a bigger trade than this.
Unless we're talking about players that we've sent out.
Yes, but like as far as like us actually getting stuff too, like this is like the biggest swap of like talent.
Mm-hmm.
So the Wizards have acquired Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum from the
Dallas
Mavericks. And we gave them Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, 2 first-rounders, and 3 second-rounders. So that's a lot. It's a lot of info. And for you guys seeing this now, it's probably a little bit old, but this is the first time we're talking about it. And I'm still in shock, honestly. I don't know what to make of the trade, honestly. I've heard a lot of mixed things about it from different people. Actually, shout out Noah Ferguson. He showed up to Wegmans the other day, and I saw him for like the first time in like a year since he's been away. And the first thing he says to me...
He's been at war.
Yeah. And he walks up to me while I'm working, and the first thing he says to me is, dude, I can't believe we got Anthony Davis. And I was like, oh, so we're fans of this. And he was just like, dude, this is great. I don't think I've ever seen a bench this good since like... Well, ever, honestly.
Yeah.
I was like...
Not even the John Wall days had a bench this good.
Exactly. When you're pulling freaking Marcin Gortat as your 5th pick, like your 5th player, I don't know, man. So, it's exciting stuff. I'm interested to see what the team's going to look like. We have a lot of different possibilities here if we can keep our top 8 protected pick this year.
Which is looking real good, right?
Which is looking sweet after that 40-point blowout. Oh, by the way, we were playing the Knicks. I don't know if we had brought that up yet, but we were sitting up in the 400s, which is, generally where the away team sits. And boy, were we ever met with a wall of Knicks fans, let me tell you. And it was kind of like bittersweet for me because deep in my heart, right? We love DC sports here, but deep in my heart, I have other ties to sports teams. Like I'm a Yankees fan, right? And half of the people there were like in Yankee hats and gear because why wouldn't they be? And the whole section, like there was maybe one Wizard fan that wasn't part of that whole group, and they were sitting right behind us. Every other person in the 400s are all Knicks fans. Every single chance they got, they were yelling at Trae Young.
That brought me a lot of joy. Can I just say that?
To
hear New York Knicks fans saying, fuck Trae Young. They started that chant in the arena, and I was like, damn, this guy's on the fucking bench, and you guys are all still letting him live in your head rent-free.
I cannot wait for him to take the Knicks' hearts multiple times a year next year. It's going to be fantastic. But as far as roster options go.
Yeah.
You got some like mix-ups here for some roster options.
I do. I think it's great because I don't understand why everyone had a negative reaction to start out with for this trade because this trade and the Trae Young trade, honestly. Because the biggest knock against Trae Young is that he is like such a negative on defense, which I totally get. But I do think that his offensive play more than makes up for any lackluster defense that he does have. But you get a guy in Anthony Davis who not only averages 24, 11, and 3, but he's also had multiple top 5 finishes for DPOY in his career. He's known as being kind of that cornerstone defensive player in your lineup. He can cover up any defensive liabilities the team seems to have. Now, pairing him with Sarr in under the rim, no teams are going to be able to score against us.
Yeah.
And we got both of these guys. All we had to give up were 2 starters who both were making over $30 million and their contracts were expiring. They were gone after this year regardless. A few bench guys, a couple of which we both thought had potential. But for the most part, okay, fine. Like, if we're giving up Marvin Bagley and Malachi Branham, I'm okay with that if we're getting an Anthony Davis guy.
Yeah.
And then 2 first-round picks that weren't even our picks. One of them were the Oklahoma City Thunder's picks, who, in all reality, will probably end as the worst first-round pick this year.
Yeah.
And then the Warriors pick that is top 20 protected in 2030.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be bad in 2030.
They're not going to be the Golden State Warriors.
No, they're going to that pick is going to convey into a second rounder in 2031.
That pick is a 7th grader right now.
Yeah. Whoops. My bad.
No, the script, it got leaked. No. You saw nothing. You saw nothing.
I love it. I feel like we really did not have to give up that much in that trade. And our lineup at the beginning of next year, for me at least, I know you have a different kind of outlook on it, but for me, I think it's going to be point guard, Trae Young, shooting guard, Trey Johnson, small forward, AJ Dybantsa. I can't talk today. Power forward, Alex Sarr, and center, Anthony Davis. And then coming off the bench, guard-wise, you got Bub Carrington, you got Sharif Cooper, you got Bilal Coulibaly, Cam Whitmore, and Jameer Watkin. And then at that forward position, you've got Keyshawn George, Anthony Gill, Vuk, and any free agents that we will probably end up picking up in the offseason. So I think it's a phenomenal team. I think that even if you wanted to, have AJ coming off the bench and put Keyshawn in for him, or even like a Bilal, I'd be completely fine with that. But I think the AJ Sarr AD or the Bilal Sarr AD defensive matchup really just kind of cancels out the ineffectiveness of Trae Young on defense. So I think it's a great move. After that, what do you think?
I think it's good. I think I like the fact that AD will probably play at some point this year, just so that I could see like what he would look like potentially with the rest of our guys that we have currently.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if his age is going to hold up with him on the court. I guess he's 34?
No, he's not that old.
I thought he was he's at least over 30, is he not?
I think he's exactly 30.
He's
30 or 31.
Okay.
He's been in the league since 2012, but he was 18 when he got drafted.
Okay. So we'll see if his body can keep up with a lot of these younger guys, because our team is like a bunch of babies.
Yeah.
So they got a bunch of energy. We'll see him coming off. We also got some really good young talents in Will Riley, who had a career high 27-point game the other night against, I believe, was the number 1 ranked Pistons.
Don't even get me started on that, Wayne.
Yeah, by the way, the Wizards beat the number 1 ranked Pistons by 15.
It was like last season when they were, the worst team record-wise in the league, and they beat the Nuggets 3 times. It makes no sense, but for whatever reason, they feel like those are the weeks to pop off.
Yeah, so I liked the fact that we can, have some bad games, and then one game, Brian Keefe's just like, you know what, just go out there and have fun. And then they end up beating the number 1 team in the East with a bunch of G League players.
Let's just have fun. Will Riley scores 30.
Sharif Cooper had 18 and 9. It was great. It was great to see. Of course, it wasn't the game that we got to go to, because I got to watch, Mikal Bridges go 6 for 8 from 3 from whatever reason. So, but in all terms of Anthony Davis, I will say that it's very promising. Will Dawkins seems to be cooking right now. So we'll see if he's got any more tricks up his sleeve before we start anew next year.
Yeah.
So,
dude, Dawkins, the fact that he turned Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma into Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Pretty impressive.
Somebody got to keep him in the kitchen, bro. That's kind of tough. Which kind of leads me into our next segment.
Yes.
Because I love Will Dawkins. And,
good for you.
actually, let me preface this by saying this is our Valentine's Day segment. So we have Valentine's Day coming up this weekend. I believe it's Saturday.
It is Saturday.
I wouldn't know. I don't have a girlfriend, so I don't have that one marked on my calendar.
I've had it marked in my head for 3 months now.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, the only reason I have it marked in my head is because I have, my gauntlet of 3 months where I have my girlfriend's birthday, my mom's birthday, my girlfriend's mom's birthday, Christmas, our anniversary, and Valentine's Day, all in the span of 3 months, which is...
I can hear your wallet sobbing now.
It's non-existent right now. Let's just say that.
And so in the spirit of Valentine's Day, what we have made for you guys today are some I love you statements. We're just going to talk about, in the realm of DC sports, we're just going to start spewing some I love you statements or some I love statements. And I'll go first by saying I love that Will Dawkins is competent.
Yes.
We have seen a bunch of incompetent people in DC sports trying to, quote unquote, save a team, but have no idea what they're doing. And Will Dawkins gives me hope. And he's a dog. Essentially exactly what you said, turning Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma into Anthony Davis and Trae Young. Yeah. Like, masterful. Absolutely world class. I love the guy. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's also stayed out of controversy, which is also great for, DC sports.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my first I love you statement, I love Will Dawkins, and I love that he is a great GM.
Does Will Dawkins know?
He will. He will.
Okay. I'm going to tag him in this video.
My love will get to him at some point. Will, you're a dog. Keep doing you, bro.
Love that.
Ben, an I love you statement?
I love... Every time I think of Washington sports, this is all I think about. I love Jaden Daniels.
Oh, do you? Do you love Jaden Daniels?
So incredibly much, and everything that he brings to the table for our team. I mean... There's not enough that I can say about the guy, considering that, the season before, it was a Patriots season where we went 4-13. Washington hadn't had a playoff win since, 2005, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was rough. And, every year you wish as a bad team that you can have a guy like Jaden Daniels come into your franchise and really have that breath of fresh air. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, NFC Championship first year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, did not tear up his knee in the playoffs like our former Offensive Rookie of the Year did. And
they tried. They tried to get him.
They tried.
Which is sad to say, but
you wish that was you, huh?
4 different times this year they tried to kill him. So.
Yes, but I love Jaden Daniels, and I love his future with this Washington franchise.
I love that there's so much love in the air right now, which leads me to my next I love statement. I love that Jacob Chikrin is a Washington Capital. We talked about it earlier when we were talking about Team Canada and how he's going to go over there and have a good time and probably win the whole thing. But the Caps have been so overwhelmingly mid this last month of just constant win losses and going on 3-4 win weeks and it's been a struggle to watch the Caps. But there's always been bright spots. Mm-hmm. And one of those bright spots has definitely been Jacob Chikrin. And to lead off, just in recency bias alone, in that Nashville game, hitting a 360 and then shooting in between 2 people against the Nashville goalie, who is pretty all right.
Yeah.
He's all right. And the fact that he could just do that, it brings light to my eyes. It makes me think that we can be that that rock again in the Metropolitan Division, where people are scared to play the Caps.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved the most. Especially in our freaking Stanley Cup run. Nobody wanted to play us.
No.
Ever. We were, I want to say I think we had most points in the league, I think, at that point as a team, in terms of, points, assists, all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. Our offense was clicking. Our defense was great. Ovechkin, hell of a player. And I think that if we can just keep building around these young guys, I could just spend forever talking about the Caps. But for right now, my I love you statement extends to Jacob Chikrin.
I love
He's going to do great in the Olympics. He's doing great for the Capitals. And if you don't have any more I love you statements, I also have another one.
I can do one.
You got another I love you statement?
All right. I got another one. And you know what? I think that it's time that we finally show our love to Washington women's sport.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and say I love, first of all, I know they're women, and I'm not technically allowed to say that I love them because I have a girlfriend. But we'll move past that.
Yeah.
I love the Washington Mystics all-star rookies from this past season.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Sonia Citron and Kiki Iriefin.
Yeah.
Both, beginning of the season, they were looking real good in terms of record-wise. I mean, they were kind of mid for most of the season in terms of being exactly 500.
Right.
Then towards the end of the season, kind of had a drop-off. But, again, like I said earlier with the Washington Commanders, you hope you can have those people that come and finally have a breath of fresh air into the franchise. And that's kind of exactly what Sonia and Kiki did. I mean, and we have our third pick of last year's draft also still needed to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But those two were great. Both all-stars in their first year. Both really were the best players on the Mystics by far.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that, if they really want to reach that 2019 peak they did when they won the WNBA championship with El Del Don.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that those two are going to be the ones to do it. So
it sounds like it. It's a lot of young and bright futures here in Washington.
yeah.
And another one of those young and bright futures that get to stay in Washington. And my last I love you statement is I love that the Nats are keeping C.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Now, if you, we obviously don't talk about the Nats like at all, right?
Yeah.
But that's really because there's nothing to talk about. But one of the things that we can talk about, which is C.J. Abrams. Now, C.J. Abrams has been the Nats guy for like the last, 3-4 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has been that team. Him, you got like Kybert Reese, you got
James Wood.
Yeah, James Wood. Yeah, I still have like 4 bobbleheads of him in my closet right now. Cruz, exactly. So the fact, and I don't know if anybody saw the details of the trade, but I looked at it a little bit before the episode started. It was like it was a trade with the Giants. They were gonna send us like 2 of their players plus like a scout player that they had in the minors for C.J. Abrams, just straight up. And like, which would have revitalized a lot of the Nats having to pay people, number one. And even though they're like the lowest budget team in the league.
Yeah.
And the roster would get younger.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were going to send over like 3 like 22-year-olds, which would have been like insane. So,
but also like how much younger would that have really made us? Because they're already like one of the youngest teams in the league.
Exactly.
By far.
So it would have been a good trade. Maybe it would have panned out. But I like the consistency that C.J. Abrams brings. And the comfort that knowing that if he's on the team that they have a chance maybe to win some games.
It kind of just shows that our front office is believing in him.
Yeah.
Which is great, instead of just shipping him out. But,
yeah, because you know exactly what the Nats did after they won a ring. They got rid of half of their freaking team.
Yeah.
So, like...
Freaking Anthony Rendon just won a ring, just won MVP. Yeah, no, let's get rid of that guy.
Yeah, let's get rid of him. We don't need him.
Yeah.
Juan Soto wants to go make $900 million or almost $1 billion. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let some other team pay for him.
It's okay. At least they're not the Red Sox.
Yeah,
all right.
they're not the Red Sox.
And on that note, I think it's a pretty good stepping off point. We've reached a point in the season where
the episodes will get shorter.
No, we'll still have content for the people, but it will not be like live updates for football. At least we'll still have the basketball. We'll still have the hockey. Pretty soon, we'll have the baseball.
Yeah,
and the WNBA.
Yeah.
So
we're in spring training right now. I'm getting ready to start.
Yep. So
it's exciting stuff. Exciting stuff.
We'll see how this all starts going. But we appreciate y'all for listening, and we will see you next week.
Have a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Love y'all.
If you're single, just know I love you.